This is a tutorial on how to create a form for KnightLink. You can access KnightLink by going to knightlink.geneseo.edu. Once you are here, you should always log in the upper right-hand corner using your Geneseo username and password. Once you've done that, you can then find the organization you're a part of that you'd like to create a form for. You can do that by going to My Shortcuts or by going through the Organizations tab and searching for your organization. You'll then click into your organization's page and you'll scroll down to find a Forms tab on the left bar. Once into the Forms tab, you'll see all the forms your organizations currently have as being active. When you click Manage Forms, a button will appear that says Create Form. This will only appear if you have access to create forms. If it does not, then you should talk to your president, who can give you permission to create forms. You can also always contact Lauren Doherty, the Assistant Director of College Union and Activities. So you will click on the Create Form button, and this will ask for some general information for the form. So the name of the form, we'll call it Test 1. Let's make the form active. You'll select the start time, date and time, and end time. Allow multiple submissions. You can check if you're okay with one person submitting the form multiple times. And then you can choose who is allowed to submit to the form. So is it anybody on campus? Is it a member of your organization, which means they're listed on your KnightLink roster? Or is it officers in your organization? So for this case, we'll leave it as general access. And we'll hit Save and Add Questions. And in this case, I already have a form with that name, so we'll change it to Test 2. So now we're on page 1 of our form. Over here, on the left side, you'll see a toolbar with multiple different questions you can ask. A checkbox, radio button, text field, instructions, a file upload, etc. If you're unsure what any of these are, you can always hover over the question mark and it will give you an indicator as to what that question can do. So let's start with instructions. So once you type what you'd like for your instructions, you can use the bold, the italics, the underlining, you can change the color, and you can also link to other websites outside of here if you need them to refer to a different document. You can use numbers, you can use bullet points. There are lots of different features. We then also can use the checkbox. So let's say we're going to allow them to answer more than one question. So, what dates are you free for a meeting? And we're going to put multiple answers. So now there are multiple answers here where they can check every time that they are free. Whenever you put a question into the form, it will automatically be required. You can click into the question, hit Edit, and here's where you can change the minimum answers or maximum. So if you don't care if they answer it, you can have minimum as 1, which could be other, and then maximum as they can click up to 4. Underneath Other, if we want them to be able to put additional information, we can hit Include Text Area, and then how much space you want them to be able to write. So I'm only going to leave 1 row here. But now they can type in a different date that they're free. We'll add a radio button. And this is where I'll show if you can turn off the required for this question. So if you click into Edit, there will be a checkbox down here for required, and you can uncheck that, meaning that they do not have to select one of these in order to submit the form. We can also go in to title this page. which is where underneath the name you'd be able to type whatever the form name is you'd like for that. You can also add additional pages. If we go to the page list, we only have one page, but we can add multiple pages. So now we've added page 2. If we go back to the page list, we'll see that there are now 2 pages, and you can click in and edit either of those, or you can switch them. So if you want them to be separate, you can move them around. We'll go back to properties, which will bring us to the original form we filled out with all of the information in case we want to change the name of the form or the time or end time of the form. And we can also select who's going to be notified when a form is submitted. So right now it's just Lauren, but we can also add other people who will be notified by email when a submission comes in. We'll go ahead and save our form. And then we'll go back to Manage Forms and we'll find Test 2. So now that we see this, we'll go over and we'll see something called Publish. You'll click on that to get the link to your form. So this is what you can send to people and tell them, please fill out this form if you're interested in being a part of our club. Instead of having to route them to your page, you'll then have a link. This is the basics of form building. There will be an advanced form building tutorial as well to find out more about setting conditionals and other information for forms. Please view that for more information.